Hello. Hi, everybody. How's everybody doing today? Good to see you all. Hey, James Steele, Asen. Hi there. Pippi from a poet. Hello, hello. Good to see you all. George is already getting all feisty in the chat. Stay spirit. Thank you so much. Trigger warning. We are covering an upsetting topic. If you need to duck out for your own mental health, please do. You can report things like those being discussed here. And then thank you so much. Thank you, Stace. Okay, let me grab some tea. Okay, I promise, guys, I will get back. I will get back to doing some fun, lighthearted streams soon. But I want to see this through. I think it's the right thing to do to address some things. Not gonna just keep going back and forth. But something happened yesterday, something very monumental, and I think it's worth talking about in tandem with the other things that we've been talking about. So here we go. Yesterday, Serge Delmar was on a stream with, let me get their names right, Ann Andrews and Kimberly Degonia. They're both attorneys and child advocates, and they've been working on cases against the Mormon Church, and now they've decided to take up cases regarding Scientology and their cover up of SA and the victims that are coming forward. Serge is the first one, and they did a stream yesterday with Mona Fat Grammy, who has facilitated a lot of the contact. So that's great. Kudos to her for that. So yeah, I got through watching it once, and then I started watching it a second time. I couldn't get through it the second time, but something really resonated with me. A lot of things. But one thing, which is where I got the title of this stream, about where Preds thrive. We don't want that to be here, do we? We don't want them thriving in this space. This space is a space for healing. It's a space that hopefully justice will be done. It's a space that we need to keep safe from these Preds. We don't want them thriving here. And I want to play one clip from yesterday. Definitely watch it. It's on Serge's channel. It's on Mona's channel. And it's absolutely worth watching. It's why a lot of us are here, and a big reason why we're here. So let me play a clip. And just to set it up, the attorneys were talking about how a lot of like organizations, and I think they call it closed groups. And we talked yesterday about how some groups are kind of closing themselves off, which I think is a good thing when it comes to the trolls and their defense of child Preds. They can deny it all day long. I'm not spinning it. It's in black and white. I'm not spinning it. And so they can deny it all they want. And right before I went on, I wasn't in Reddit. I hate Reddit, hate it. But people send me screenshots, and I did go in to just kind of scan it so that I can say, okay, I'm not taking things out of context. This is what's being said. I didn't see this screenshot until right now, but all I saw was Jamie Thomas replying to a comment that I didn't see, but it says, I agree with Denver Stevo. Now, when I saw that, I was relieved, even though I'm sure he said terrible things about me. And that's okay. That's okay. He's entitled to his opinion. I'm glad he's here to have an opinion. So, Denver Stevo, if you hear me at all, I'm so glad. I'm glad you're okay. I'm glad you're okay. You can do thousands of videos about me as long as you're okay. That's good. That's okay with me. So I wanted to say that. I don't know what he said about me. I'm sure it was terrible, but yeah, I'm glad he's here to say it. I'm glad. So Anyways, let me play this clip.
So we know every industry, every organization, every closed system creates an environment where predators thrive. And when predators thrive, the national crime statistics says that a single predator will get somewhere between 50 to 150 victims in the time before they are severed, eliminated from the organization, prosecuted, in prison, incarcerated, or die. Mm. So every one of them come to court, as I've learned from Kimberly, and say, at the sentencing, it was only just this once, Judge. It was only just this once. For that person to say that, and judges are well aware of it in sentencing. He and she sitting on that bench knows that the crime statistics tell them not to believe when the predator comes in, often having brainwashed their victim into saying, I don't know of anyone else. I can't think of anyone else who might have assaulted or she might have assaulted. That's all. Those are all the things we deal with. So our job as lawyers, particularly at this time, particularly in this critical moment of their lives, is to encourage survivors of sexual assault from all organizations, including the one that you so well advocate for, are able to feel that they can come forward at a time earlier than almost all do. Right? That if they
And again, I highly recommend watching the whole thing. It was Andrews, I heard, just stressing so many times that things have changed, fortunately, for the better. Particularly, she was talking about California, how they have certain laws, how they really support the victims nowadays, how they have a law, I forgot the name of it, named after a victim, that that mandates that a advocate would be there to support the plaintiff, the victims. So I think that's wonderful. We saw that in the Danny Masterson case, where there were courtroom victim advocates, survivor advocates that were there to help them along and to encourage them. And I heard her say the phrase trauma informed many times. So these are attorneys who are trauma informed. They've had hundreds and hundreds of cases, and they know what they're doing. And the thing that she said about the judges being highly aware, and just so happens that Dave Litton was in, this was again 20 years ago. Yes, point taken. But according to the statistics, there is no such thing as one time. Very, very, very seldom. Very seldom. And we had a witness that came forward. She goes by Nova Haven. Solicitous is her channel. And she had reported Dave Litton a year or two before he was caught and convicted for possession of child materials. Okay. So I decided, because everybody, I guess Chat GPT is all the rage right now. My husband's been using it. So, thank you, George, for the links. Awesome. Yeah, even my husband's been using it. I say even my husband because he's technically challenged like me. So, let me pull that up. Okay. One sec, guys. I just got to set it up correctly here. Okay. And share this page. Okay, so this is what I asked Chat GPT to give me feedback on. Let me read that. 1 second, guys. Oh, my goodness. Okay, so this is what I asked it. A man was convicted of possessing child, we'll call it CSAM, materials 20 years ago. He served 6 months in prison and 3 years probation. He has been online in social media platforms where young people in the gaming community frequent, such as Twitch. How risky is this, and how likely is he to reoffend? And ChatGPT says, this situation is very concerning and suggests a significant risk that the individual could reoffend. Here's a breakdown of why this is risky and how it ties to known offender behavior patterns. 1, nature of the original offense. Possession of child, Sam, I'm not going to say the whole thing, is not a victimless crime. Let me say that again. Possession of CSAM is not a victimless crime. It's tied to a interest in children and contributes to abuse cycles. Such offenders have entrenched deviant interests, which tend to persist over time without treatment or strict supervision. Again, strong trigger warning here, guys. 2, high-risk behavior indicators now. Frequenting youth-centered platforms such as like Twitch, especially if interacting with minors, is a serious red flag. While not illegal in itself, it raises questions about intent and boundary testing. Gaming communities are common grooming grounds because they combine access to minors, anonymity, and trust-building environments. 3, time elapsed doesn't eliminate risk. 3, time elapsed doesn't eliminate risk. Even though 20 years have passed since the conviction, current behavior is far more predictive than time since the last known offense. If he's still placing himself in digital environments with minors, the risk remains high, particularly with signs of rehabilitation without signs of rehabilitation or restriction. As far as I know, he's not restricted. And doesn't seem like he's been rehabilitated in my book either, in my opinion. Research on CSAM offenders. Studies show that 7 to 20% of those convicted solely of CSAM possession are later charged with contact offenses, and the actual number may be higher due to underreporting. And he was actually picked up for trying to meet up with what he thought was a minor. So for those type of purposes. So there would have been contact, and there has allegedly been contact. And that's one of the reasons why this came to be in the beginning with people posing as minors. And then eventually there's 2 that I know of, 2 civilians that did it. And then, which was the person that brought it to law enforcement to begin with, that did a man that went on gay.com, but also even before that, a year or 2 before that, Nova did the same thing. And then both of them reported it to the police, who set up their own sting operation and then ultimately charged him with possession of CSAM. But they in the beginning picked him up for trying to meet up with a minor. Okay. Continued access to minors, especially online, after a conviction is linked to increased likelihood of escalation or reoffending. And I'm not making this up. I'm not spinning this. This is according to the resources that are available. This is the experts kind of signing off on sounding off on this. And ChatGPT it basically scours the internet and puts it all together. 5, risk summary. High risk of reoffending or escalating behavior, especially concerning if he is engaging or communicating with minors on these platforms. His behavior may be predatory, even if not legally actionable. What to do? If you suspect inappropriate behavior, you can report concerns to the platform, Twitch, Discord, etc. Contact the cyber tip line, and we have that link that I think Stay Spirit said she would put in the chat. So thank you so much. If you're in another country, most have similar reporting agencies. Would you like a guide on how to spot grooming behaviors or how to report specific platforms like Twitch or Discord? And I said, yes, please. Okay. Signs of online grooming behavior. Groomers often use gradual tactics to build trust and reduce resistance. Watch for early signs, frequent or private messages with minors, especially unsolicited. And Nova was observing this, and that's what tipped her off and made her want to uncover this and report him. Asking personal questions, age, location, family, situation, giving compliments or gifts, money, in-game items, and subscriptions, trying to build secrecy. Don't tell anyone we talked. Escalating behavior, sharing or requesting images or photos. So this is just totally the whole playbook, play by play, describes what Nova told us happened in that chat room that she was in 22 years ago. And he's still in those platforms, those type of platforms. At least he's on Twitch. It's a little bit different now than 22 years ago. Escalating behavior, sharing or requesting images or videos, even under the guise of, quote, just for fun. Sexual jokes or comments, even subtle or testing the waters. Attempting to move the conversation to private or encrypted platforms, Snapchat, WhatsApp, Telegram. Manipulating a child's emotions or sense of loyalty. Okay, so that I'm going to stop there. I got some other things I want to show you and to comment on and to deal with, but for now I'm gonna go through your comments so far, and then we'll pivot to another issue that is concerning this whole thing. So, hey Bill, good to see you. Hey Stasia, thank you for being here. David, yeah. Yeah, maybe that's why they're attracted to this space, unfortunately. But we're going to expose it, right? Hey, Liz. Hey, sweetie. Messy ex-angelologist. I love it. Good to see you, honey. Hi. So glad you're here. Miss you. James Steele, George Massey versus Stay Spirit. Beauty versus the geek. Beauty and the geek. I'm not brave enough to say which is what. Oh, boy. Well, I might be able to guess, but Constance June. I watched the whole apology by Face video. It was not much of an apology, saying he never told survivors what he did and then confided in him. Yeah, when they confided in him is awful. Yeah, I will get to that because I have some screenshots from apologists. And again, I'm not spinning this any kind of way. It's in black and white. So, yeah. Tina McBride, they say it's hard to treat these criminals. Lots of studies. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Hey, Joel, glad you're here. Yeah, this is intense, guys. I think a lot of people are live right now. So, yeah, if you guys, can't, if this is too triggering, I absolutely understand if you need to put your phone down or go to another channel. I understand. It's rough. And again, like I said, we'll do some more fun streams soon. So, hey Terry, good to see you. Yeah, they don't change, they evolve and adapt. Yeah. And they're not welcome here. But I guess they're welcome in Reddit unvarnished. Yeah, I guess they are. And I'm not making that shit up. It's just the truth. Okay. All right. Just going to read some of these screenshots. There's someone called Loud Debate in 9864 in Reddit. Someone sent me this screenshot. I think I saw this on another channel. I'd give Dave Eccleplex more grace. So this is a convicted child, Fred, that was that was charged and convicted with felony possession, which is, you know, there's a such thing as misdemeanor possession, which I can't imagine, felony possession of child porn, and put in federal prison. I'd give Dave Ecoplex more grace than I would before Knife Hoarder, who has, you know, we've already been through this, 20-year-old tattoos. I've talked to him. He said he does not, and I'll show the public statement he made. I saw that screenshot and I said, wow, case in point. I certainly don't condone racism. And this was to Knife Hoarder himself. And I've talked to him, you know, before too about this. I certainly don't condone racism. Neither do I think there should be any grace for PDFs. Neither do I think there should be any grace for PDFs. What WTF is wrong with the Reddit, PTS, Discord, Mike Rinder, Aftermath Foundation trolls? And that's how I'm going to describe them from now on. Okay? They are the Reddit, PTS, Discord, Mike Rinder, Aftermath Foundation trolls, because that's what they stand for. They identify as is huge Mike Rinder, Aftermath Foundation fans and stans and stalkers or stalker fans, whatever. They're always posting about the Mike Rinder, Aftermath Foundation, all their stuff that they have going on. Not saying they don't do good work. Yeah, the Mike Rinder Aftermath Foundation does do good work. I think it was a mistake at this point, this timing, to put Mike Rinder's name in the title, because of some of the associations, like these people, like these pedo apologists. Wrong, bad. I think that was a bad move. But hey, they want to be called the Mike Rinder, Michael J. Rinder, the Michael J. Rinder Aftermath Foundation. Okay. And with it comes all these bottom dwellers that are promoting them. So that's their choice. Okay. So I'd said, I don't condone racism. And Knife Hoarder, this was 9 hours ago. Exactly. I don't condone or endorse racism. This is Knife Hoarder. I don't condone or endorse racism. Is there proof? Has he said anything racist? I have not seen him say anything racist. I've heard him say this. Okay. The ink is 25 years ago, 25 years old. I'm 11 years sober. But a tat you do yourself. Chomos do things to children. WTF. Like, really? FGG to them all. So that's what he said. He doesn't condone racism. Am I going to tie him down and force him to take his tattoos off? Like, I don't condone it. And if it were me, yeah, I would have them removed, but I'm not in his body. Okay. And so I'm not endorsing anything like that. And I'm certainly not making public statements that I would give a NAZI any grace. I wouldn't. And I won't. And I don't. So whatever. You don't have to believe me. I don't care. But I'm certainly not going out and defending a chomo. And I'm not even defending Knife Hoarder. I'm just saying what he said. So you can believe it or you don't have to. So let me go on. Okay, again, loud debate. Very interesting how fast they jumped on Ecoplex, who, in my opinion, gave a very heartfelt explanation. A very heartfelt explanation about what happened in his past. Now, he didn't say apology, he said explanation. His explanation was the details don't matter. That was his explanation. Okay, whatever. He served time in prison for his crimes, which he disowned, apologized, and attempted to explain. There's no explaining it. And I don't care when it happened. Look at the statistics. Definitely does not deserve grace. Or he can have grace somewhere else, not in this space. Okay, I'm not even going to read this bullshit. Ecoplex Media is a devil for something he did 20 years ago. Yeah, okay, Voodoo Kitty. Goodbye, Kitty. Not hello. Goodbye. Okay, let me Explain that. Ooh. All right. Breathe, Marilyn. Hey, Zena Marlene. Let's do one. Everybody partake. Okay, we've got quite a few people watching. Don't feel any peer pressure, but if you are so inclined to put a 1 in the chat, if you do not support child, you know what? In this space or any other space. Thanks, Liz. Looks like a lot. Yep. I don't like them either. I like Cosmos, but not Jomos. Yeah. Yeah. So one of their sympathizers / apologists is Jamie Thomas, aka Aquaplex Media. I'm sorry, whoops, not her, not them. A different media that is True Clear Media, which really isn't true, isn't clear, but they're both say media. Okay, True Clear Media has come out in defense of him, and which I think is really sad and unfortunate. The reason I have a hard time talking about this stuff is because I have a hard time talking about this stuff. And that's why I'm stumbling on my words. Yeah, I agree with you guys. Hey, Anna, glad you're here. Okay. So I want to bring the receipts on what I was talking about yesterday. Blossom, that we were talking about, somebody who that Jamie had befriended about 6 months ago, and Blossom noticed that she was being very, very controlling, very culty in her actions and her words, and kind of like putting pressure on her and trying to control her. And it started out with love bombing. It started out with acting like a mentor. Exactly. True Clear Media is a bully, and so does Voodoo Kitty. I believe in karma, so not too stressed though. Yeah. Well, maybe what Blossom has to say is partly her karma, as far as Jamie goes, because she obviously messed with the wrong person and tried to control her. And she realized, Blossom said, as I said yesterday, she gave me permission to tell a bit of her story. And then she sent me some screenshots this morning that she said I can share. So let me set these up. Okay. So when Jamie didn't get her wishes with Blossom, she proceeded, which she's done in the past to many other people. I know that Lindsay Valandry has said that she's gone to CPS, FBI, all kinds of agencies to try to bring her down. Lindsay, also, which, like her or hate her, nobody deserves that, in my opinion. or in between. I don't like her per se, and I definitely don't hate her. I have some compassion for her. It's also been said from very reliable sources that Jamie has also proceeded to at least attempt to stalk and harass Reese's son, which I don't go for that either. So let me read this and I'll show you some other things. Yes, good for you, Blossom. Yeah, she kicks ass. And I'm sure this was not easy for her, but I said I would help in any way I could. Oh God. So this is this past Friday. So what today is Tuesday. So just a few days ago, Blossom got a message from her ex-husband who is very good friends with her. And they still keep in contact. I believe they have 2 children together, at least one. And they are best friends, and he lives in a different state. So he got this very weird message from an Anne Francis, who is one of Jamie Thomas's. She also goes by Jessie. That's another alias that she uses besides her real name, Jamie Thomas. She's Blue Ridge Media, or Blue Ridge Speaks on Reddit. She's all over Reddit. She has 4 subreddits that she's locked down now because she's going to be the thought police and monitor everybody, which I think is great because get her out of the public. She can double, triple down. I think that's a great idea. So, so Blossom's ex-husband sent this to her, this screenshot, and he was like, new friend. And Jamie says, I did have the regular screenshot, but I couldn't find it this morning. I might have accidentally deleted it, but I know exactly what it said. So down here it says, sorry to intrude. You don't know me. I'm acquainted with, and Blossom's real name. I have to ask you. Oh yeah. Okay. It says, I have to ask you, and I will get that screenshot. I have to ask you, is so-and-so, her name, a psychopath? Asked her that. Of course, he didn't answer. He screenshotted it, sent it right to Blossom. Okay. Then she didn't stop there. Blossom said, and she also goes, she goes by, why do you think we don't like you? That's Blossom's channel. She asked my son what kind of childhood he had growing up with a psychopath. I don't know exactly what she said to my daughter because she said she thought it was spam at first, but something similar. Now, any of the ex-Scientologists in this chat, I don't know. I'm not an expert. Jamie claims to be an ex-Scientologist herself. I've talked to some ex-Scientologists that think based on her behavior, she doesn't act like one, but it's very likely or possible, very possible she could be being used by OSA, or maybe even not knowing it. Even just this behavior is crazy behavior. So people in Reddit that are buttering her up, I'm with you. Even like Denver Steve-O, do you sign off on this? I hope not. I know you. I know you wouldn't go for this. So yeah, I don't know. It's just really sad. Really sad. Okay, so Blossom also sent me she's very tech savvy. Let me take this and make sure I have it. I'm just super careful, guys. I don't want to dox anybody. Okay. So there's another type of pred I want to talk about. There is we talked about CSAM. We talked about, the other stuff, PDF files. There is another type of predators, many types, but this in particular, I think, fits this situation with Jamie Thomas, and not only Blossom and her children, but she's always after my children. So far, they haven't hurt. Maybe they have, but they just ignore people. But she has come after me saying I tortured my children. She's blew everything completely way out of proportion. It's almost laughable. It doesn't even bother me. But she's also gone after Reese's child too, and I'm going to expose it. So, yeah, also not nice. Exactly. And she knows how I feel about that. She did delete all those videos. I don't you know, I don't sign off on it. We disagree with a lot of things, but yeah, I mean, I guess people can change, but she knows how I feel about that. And we don't agree on a lot of stuff. But at the same time, she reached out and I felt like I just should listen to her, and I'm glad I did. I'm glad I did. So yeah, but I totally get your point, and we've definitely talked about it. Definitely talked about it. Okay. Oh, let me. And that whole thing about like trolling and trolls and stuff, like I don't totally understand it. I mean, maybe I do a little bit of trolling here and there. But this whole like underground like trolling network and doing all that, I don't necessarily understand it. I don't really necessarily agree with it, but I think that there's sort of like mean trolling, there's sort of harmless-ish trolling, there's different types of trolling. But when you're contacting people, that's no longer trolling. That's stalkerish, predatory behavior. That is crossing a line, crossing a line. So, let me pull this up. I wanted to read this to you guys. Okay. So something called ideologically compelled proxy predator, ICPP. Definition: an adult who stalks, harasses, or targets children as a means of punishing, intimidating, or retaliating against the child's parents due to ideological, political, or personal disagreements. Don't confuse her with some random troll. She's an ICPP. She weaponizes people, kids, because she hates their beliefs. So I think that's definitely appropriate for this situation, in my opinion. Um, there are a lot of ideologies that have been shoved down people's throats. I don't agree with shoving anything down anybody's throats. I don't agree with anything that violates people's civil rights, whether it be racist ideology or this predatory ideology. And I'm going to say, guys, this map thing, it's interesting at least very interesting to me, and a little bit alarming that these trolls are very, very protective of Mike Rinder and the Michael J. Rinder Aftermath Foundation. They're huge super fans. I never hear them talk against Scientology. It's always against, and I've seen videos about, well, Aaron, of course, Jenna, Liz Gale, yes, Stephanie Hutchinson. Yeah, they loved Stephanie Hutchinson. They're after particularly people like Serge and people that are very strongly against child exploitation and trafficking and yeah, and PDF files. Why is that? Why is that? I don't know. I'm just putting it out there because it's something I've been racking my brain about. And CO Bilf has okay, thank you, CO. He has said, I think yesterday or one of the streams, CO Bilf, if you could reiterate that some of the people that Dave Litton has interviewed, and one was an NAZI sympathizer. So really, really, Jamie Thomas has been known to say some pretty racist things to Marisa, to Dianetics. These are things that there are witnesses to, and there are receipts to. So come on, this is ridiculous. And this whole it seems like they're more into attacking ex-Scientologists who have no indie, no squirrely, no indie, no independent background in one that had left Scientology. Again, interesting. Just something to think about. So it makes me wonder. It makes me wonder. All right. I hate this, guys. I really hate this. I just want to crochet and pet my puppies and talk to you all about crafts and stuff. Birds of a feather flock together. Yeah. Why? You know, Mike Rinder, rest in peace. No, no disrespect for the dead, but it doesn't cover the fact that whatever his past, whatever he knew, I don't know, but he did publicly reach out to Echoplex Media, to Dave Litton, weeks before he passed away, wanting to talk to him, asking to talk to him privately. And he said, while Dave was saying nasty things about Scientologists, I get comfort from that. He's like, I'm still here, meaning still on the earth. I get comfort from that. And on Mike's, on his YouTube channel, he was publicly subscribed to Echoplex Media and a couple of the Aftermath people, but that was pretty much it. So I thought that was strange. Again, very strange. Liz Gale, my wheels are turning. Do you mean that maybe this op is by free zoners to shut us up or rally against child stuff in our childhoods? I don't think it's that far-fetched, because it just seems to all point to it. I don't think, I'm not saying that the free zoners is an op. I don't know, but all of the statistics and it just points to it. We'll talk, Liz. I've got a lot of background to share with you that, yeah, maybe. And you know what? I think this guy is gonna regret ever taking my videos and doing 4-hour mocking videos, because I wouldn't even know who this guy was. I was just like, who is this asshole? But yeah, there's a whole network of trolls, and now there's infighting amongst them, which this is what brought, Blossom out in the open and be like, I got to talk about this. This is culty. She said I could share that she is a cult survivor. She's a survivor of a lot of things, and I have a real hard time disliking her, and I really appreciate her coming forward and talking about it, because I was able to get more receipts on it. But yeah, the background of this whole thing, Dave Echoplex Media, he's been around for a solid 8 years in this space, and his background just came to the surface recently, and certain trolls are rallying to defend him. Liz, do you think this has anything to do with, and I'm not sure, I don't know any independent Scientologists, personally, but do they believe in all of the tech? Do they believe in L. Ron Hubbard's belief that children are indeed, what is it, big beings in small bodies? I'm just wondering. Is that what the connection is? Is that what these Chomo sympathizers and MAP people, and I'm sorry, I'm going to say it. I'm into civil rights, but this extreme wokeism that believes in maps, that, some of the really extremists are trying to get it lumped in with the LGBTQ plus community. I don't know, but a lot of the evidence points to that. So I'm just putting it out there. So I don't know if it's tied to Scientology, OSA, or not, but it's definitely super sus. Super sus. Okay. Wow. Oh. Deflection. Yeah. Seal Bill. Their outrage is selective and insincere. Yeah. 100%. All right. Everybody take a breath. Jojo, if it was their kids, I'm sure they would feel differently. Yeah, unless they believe that kids don't matter. I don't know. Suspiria, Knife Hoarders made it clear he only hates one thing, the sun. Yeah, yeah. And I've only ever seen him criticize and attack white people, you know. So yeah. Again, show me the receipts. I'm all about the receipts. People want me to hate Aaron. Okay, show me. Show me the court papers. Show me. Show me the conviction. Show me the police reports. Show me. Show me. George, not surprising that these apologists align themselves with the Michael J. Rinder Aftermath Foundation. Mike ran cover for PDFs for 30 years in Scientology. Then after while on the board of Child USA. Asen, well, it fits, right? Mike Rinder did cover up crimes against kids, and I'm not being, and him not being amongst us anymore doesn't make him a saint all of a sudden. Jojo, let's not forget Mike Rinder told no one about the look back window. Let that sink in. It's shocking and definitely to serve his purpose of saving his own skin. George Massey, heartfelt explanation, WTF. We know he lied in his mea culpa stream, meaning Echoplex Media. The probation officer's report directly contradict his version of events. Yes. And that was, I'm not sure what part that was, but George, if you want to put that up, it was one of the last, I don't know if it was called More Receipts or something. It was the stream that I did about the probation officer's notes about Echoplex Media, about Dave Litton later on, and how he wasn't cooperating with his probation, with those conditions that they laid out. The details don't matter. Not very heartfelt in my book. 100%. Yeah. Constance June, it was not a heartfelt explanation. It was like it was no big deal. Yeah. I agree. Asen, so serving time undoes the, but yes, he did. No, it doesn't. Yeah, Voodoo Kitty. Call her Goodbye Kitty instead of Hello Kitty because I blocked her. They're the worst. So lame. Get lost, Kitty. Go back to your litter box. Yeah. Goodbye, Kitty. Constance June. The main mod claims they don't delete criticism on their Discord. They deleted a whole thread about Dave when it first came out. Oh, I believe it. Yeah. I believe it. Yeah. This is it. Defending a PDF file. Freaking gross. Yeah. Stasia, they should never be your own children again. Agreed. And I personally am not on Twitch, but I know people that are, and he's been reported. So he shouldn't be in there with kids, with minors. George Massey, all of the Michael J. Rinder aftermath trolls are outing themselves and showing their true colors finally. Joe McCoy. Sadly, we are surrounded by evil. In my experience, when these people do not ever change, they get better at hiding it. Beware, they can be good at hiding in plain sight. Yep. Violet, so many bullies everywhere. Hard not to follow suit, but there is freedom in choosing not to be a. Agreed. I like the saying that says, be careful while fighting monsters that you don't become one. And believe me, I think about that every day because I get so angry. People want to say like my critics want to say that I fake cry. No, I don't. They can accuse me of whatever because they don't have any feelings. That's why I'm angry and I'm sad and I'm in outrage and enraged and all the rage. And that's why I feel this. I'm so upset because this is not okay. It's not okay. So, yeah, it's hard not to get emotional about it. It's really hard. Liz Gale, good for you, Blossom. It's the stories like these that will expose the bullies for who they are. It's got to be an op, right? I don't know, but it sounds like it. I mean, from everything I've heard, all of you ex-Scientologists talk about, and especially like Tori Magoo, um, yeah, and even Nora Blossom pointed that out to me. I'm like, yeah, Nora had a lot of very good information on OSA tactics. Absolutely. Constance June. Sorry, I meant the main mod on Reddit. Oh, the Reddit thread. Yep. Claims that they don't delete criticism. They deleted a whole thread on Dave Echoplex when Marilyn first called it out. Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. And while they liked Susie's streams about Reese or whatever, they put them on and then they took them back off because it's her. So yeah, they definitely censor everything. Um, and and Jamie Thomas is going so far as her four. We talked about this yesterday. If you didn't hear my stream yesterday, I went through what's going on with that. With her, I have a screenshot. It's ridiculous. She got kicked out of the Unvarnished. I think she's back in, but she got kicked out of there for talking crap about the Discord trolls or the Michael J. Rinder Aftermath Foundation trolls. And then there's another one called OT4 something 42 or whatever. That's also the PTS Discord people, and I guess she's welcome in there now. She because she got rejected by them for a while, she made 4, not 1, not 2, not 3, 4 of her own Reddit subreddits. Is that what it's called? And it was one about Reese, one about Lindsay Landry trashing her, one about the lifeboat survivors, which she was never in the lifeboat, and then the other one was like SPTV grifters. And I think they're all private now. So now she's taking applications to get back in, and she's making people like vow their loyalty to her. And basically to promise this and that and the other thing. And so she's just creating 4 more little echo chambers for herself. And it's totally backfiring because the reason why she made these was to troll, Reese and Lindsay and all them. Nobody's going to see it. Nobody's going to see it except for her little cult followers. So yeah, I think it's great. I think it's an excellent idea. So glad she thought of it. Not culty at all. I know. That's not culty. Yeah. Jojo, when he was meaning Mike Rinder, on with John Atack, he knew nothing about any of it. What utter bull. Constance June, children should be left out of it. Contacting minors is all kinds of wrong. One can't say they are for kids and then use them like Jamie. Yeah, I don't know. She said she's for kids, Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Blossom. She pulled away. Blossom pulled away from Jamie when she realized things were off. But she was afraid of her. And I understand because, and Lindsay has said the same thing. I understand because her behavior is super unhinged. And she's an older lady who really love bombed them, pretended to be their friend, to want to help. And then as soon as she didn't get her way, as soon as she couldn't control their actions and their thoughts and everything, she turned on them. And that's not culty. This woman is out of control. It's sick and sad. Yeah. Hi, sweetie. Helicopter. I am now and forever will be a cub. So late. Love you. I'm glad you're here. Sending my love. Thank you for being here, honey. Causes June. Children should be left out of it. Contacting minors is all kinds of wrong. One can't say that they are for kids when they use them like Jimmy. Yeah. The other thing I want to mention too is now she's working in tandem with our friends at the fake Potato Foundation, as Nora used to call them, the SPTV Foundation channel, which I guess had thrown her aside, but now they can use her for their own, their own use, which funny how very cult leader type people can, if somebody comes along that's even stronger and more culty, which again, like I said yesterday, and I even put a short out about Pete Jensen, that he is taking credit for that channel several times publicly. I've been told that he's not the one behind it, or he obviously is friends with them and probably helps some, but I don't think he's all that useful, he's a liability because I had him on stream with me once and he showed up drunk off his ass. So I don't think he's that, and he's, he drunk dialed or whatever. Hey, sweetie. Hey, aloha. I've been watching all you guys' streams and your pictures and love you. Cheryl, have a great time. Sorry to be a downer. But like I said, if they want Pete Jensen to be the face of their channel, if they want to give him all the credit for all of their hard work, I'm down. I think it's hilarious. So we're gonna just give Pete Jensen, we'll give him credit for that channel and his own channel as well. So Liz Gale, it's no fault of you to get info and talk about this. I'm glad to know and appreciate you. I love you. Thank you so much. Yeah. And I've gotten to know Blossom. I've talked to her at length, and my heart goes out to her. I don't think she deserved any of what Jamie is doing to her or anyone, and definitely not children and loved ones and friends and workplaces. And that's really creepy. That's some Stephanie Hutchinson level shit, and it's also some Osa level shit, I think. Seal Belf, I see no public listed Scientology service completions for Jamie Thomas. It's not conclusive, but it is a data point. Thank you. David, in my opinion, Rinder did more to protect and cover for Scientology than anyone. I have issue with this. And that's fair. Okay, this is it. Yes. Seal Belf, Dave Litton repeatedly interviewed Andy Nolch, an independent Scientologist who has denied the Holocaust and spent time in prison for vandalizing. Yeah. Ugh. That's disgusting. Yeah. What say you, Michael J. Rinder, Aftermath Foundation trolls? What say you? So, their outrage is selective and insincere. 100%. Hey, Tin Pan Flash. I'm confused by the sheer amount of dots being connected. Yeah. It's baffling to me. It really is. But it does make sense, Asen, Rinder didn't care as long as it is against Aaron or to minimizing his involvement in cover-ups. All was fair game for him. Yeah. And I still haven't decided. I'm leaning towards no, but I still haven't completely ruled out releasing all of the emails between me and Mike from a little over a year ago now, because this was going on over a year ago, not towards the end of his life. He was pretty much in remission at that point. So yeah, it does show pretty much a lot of the fair game a lot of what his objective was, because I kept trying to bring it around to issues concerning that stakeholders had about the foundation. No, he was focused on Aaron and other people, and blocking some lawsuits as well for victims. It's all in black and white. So yeah, I still haven't decided yet. Stasia, plus on the board of Child USA at the same time, cringy. Yeah. I'm gonna get so much shit. What can I do? I mean, I don't know. It is what it is. I'm not making this shit up. I'm not making it up. So yeah. Jojo, I bet he asked to be in that board to monitor what was going on. Yeah, why else wouldn't he tell anyone about the look back window? Not a soul that we know of. Maybe he told Leah, I don't know, but he didn't tell Aaron. He was friends with Aaron then. He didn't tell any of the Jane Does or any of the other victims. So just makes you wonder. Constance June, one of the free zoners is a mod of that Reddit. Yeah. Yeah. Another thing about this whole virtue signaling, holier than thou, soapbox, high horse thing. When the whole Goldie thing came down, that was a long time ago with the mod and all that. Okay. The Discord people attacked the people who had never had any history of being on Gold Base, being an indie, being friends, with current friends with any of them. And this whole weird I guess association is just very, it's very weird. But where was I going with that? I was going somewhere with that. I'll hold that thought. I will definitely get back there. Okay, let me read a couple more of these, and then I'm sure I'll think of what I was going to say. Okay, Stasia Flonase. There are a lot of us who think the same. Miriam is the most well-known reason why. Yeah. Yep. Liz Gale, technically independent Scientologists follow LRH tech still, but I think there's supposed to be more free choice to pick, but I'm not sure. So about the whole philosophy surrounding children being adults in small bodies. Yeah. George Massey, it's pretty rich to claim criticizing Rinder is unacceptable by people that have made a career from criticizing LRH. Both are accountable for their misdeeds. Yeah. Oh, okay. All right. I know what I was going to say. I knew it would come back to me. Okay. Yeah. When the whole Goldie thing happened. Okay. They also picked and chose who they were going to hold accountable, because Aaron was some kind of monster because he didn't come out and speak out against Goldie, but he's not the one that had Goldie merch. And to that last day, Goldie was modding for Apostate Alex. He never came out and said and condemned what she did. And he didn't excuse her. I fired her like at least a week before, maybe even more. Kelly Copter was the first to fire her as a mod. And when I found out about it, I was like, sorry, Goldie, I can't do it. I was not going to pressure. And they're lying, saying that they didn't pressure me to pressure the other creators. They absolutely did. I made a concession and said we could talk about it on my channel, because that is the only thing I had control over. And again, this whole pushing and using people, it was going on back then. But it's like, it's okay for Apostate Alex to do stuff, because why? He's friends. He's worshiping the Michael J. Rinder Aftermath Foundation and all of the people who support them. That's the only connection I can see, because they were against everybody else. Everybody else, they use that to just throw them under the bus. But They were so up in arms about Goldie. I don't think it was really about her. For me, it was. I did not like her ideology, although I did not see her ever express any of that. She was very kind to the ex-Scientologists that were members of the LGBTQ, is it plus IA community. She modded for them, and I never saw her treat them any differently. So there's some weird stuff going on, and it may be an op. I don't know. But there's a lot of freaking hypocrisy, and it's picking and choosing who they're going to hold accountable for these ideologies that they have, that they hold dear. So, hey, sweetie. Good to see you, E. Glad you're here. Anna from Canada. These trolls attack the survivors of Scientology and sympathize with the PDF files. Yeah. Why are they even in this space? I wonder. I don't know. If they don't like the survivors, why do they involve themselves? Yeah, I don't know. They don't show their face. They somehow have self-appointed themselves to police this whole space. Why don't they just start their own? You know? I mean, I don't think, I would hope that the Michael J. Rinder Aftermath Foundation board members did not ask them to do this. They have praised some of them on their streams. And if you look at their, which I don't bother anymore, but again, people send me screenshots at their chats, like Blown for Good at their chats, a lot of them are in there and they get their things popped up and yeah, whatever they want to associate with them, they can. These PDF file sympathizers, whatever, they did finally take the Aftermath Foundation link off of the fake SBTV Foundation. Come on. This is just, I'm blue in the face. I can't even talk about it anymore. It's gross. I'll just read your comments. Tina McBride, they can hate Aaron, but sympathize with people who abuse kids. Exactly. Stasia, my anger is real and people are finding out. It's also righteous. I'm a humanist and everyone deserves the best. 100%. You got a round of applause from Giorgio. See you clapping in the back. Not to be confused with clapping back. Stasia, remember Rinder only had a problem with Dave Miscavige. He had no issue with the tech. He thought, L wrong covered. Okay. L wrong covered was okay. Remember that, folks. Yep. Liz Gale, Blossom emailed me all nice and I responded nice. And then she told me to go home. I can't treat. Oh God. That's okay. She said she put it in AI, but the AI on her channel called me a crazy crochet C word. Back then I was like, oh, up in arms. But now that I'm hanging out with a bunch of Brits, they say it like, they say their toasters being a C word. So yeah, I think that was a direct quote from Stace Spiria. But yeah, I was like, oh my God, this behavior. But yeah, I take it for what it is. I wouldn't be doing this if I hadn't seen her face to face or on screen, talk to her. I know her name. I've talked to her at length. And yeah, I decided to help her express herself and give her a voice because I think in this case, it's constructive. So we do disagree on Aaron and other issues, but yeah, we both agree that this thing with Jamie is out of control and very destructive to a lot of people, including people's families. Yikes. Yeah. James Steele, long gone are the monsters under the bed or in the closet. They're all in plain sight. Yeah, unfortunately. Tin Pan Flash, someone has way too much time on their hands. She should try gardening or something. I know. I can't imagine having 4 Reddits. And then not only that, but I've got that Facebook group and I have some and I do have a Facebook group for my nonprofit, but I have mods that help me out. And plus, I don't read every single thing and police everybody. It's just gross. Yeah. See, sister, you don't think Drunky is the brains behind the operation? Probably not. But hey, if he wants to take credit for it all, I'll give it to him. Happy to do that. Pippi, who would have guessed that older folks could be so vicious on, I don't know. George Massey, Rinder was the head of OSA when CANRA was updated in California in 1997, and Scientology went through a major scrubbing exercise. He was acutely aware of the risks CANRA posed. Ethan, I'm glad that when the Nuremberg trials took place, we didn't have the attitude that is prevalent nowadays, that once you are old or past, all is forgotten and forgiven. 100%. Yeah, that was so funny. What was that? I think it was Aaron did a video. It was called about Scientology operatives or something. It was about Pete Jensen, and he mentioned Mrs. J. I think he did mention Jamie Thomas. He mentioned Maria Martins, and definitely played those drunk dialing calls, those voicemails. David, the connections are mind blowing. Yeah, what is up with that? And I couldn't. Yeah, he said, stop striking our channel," and then he's like, then tried to act like a tough guy. Wild. Jojo, Aaron's to blame for everything. Yep. It's pathetic how people just blame him. To me, it's to take the heat off themselves. I did a derp dive. That's funny. My kids say derp. I did a deep dive into Mike's blog on Child USA and the look back window. What I found was interesting. All right. Well, I would love to hear what you found. Oh man, the Goldie situation. While I don't agree with her thoughts or posts, I also didn't believe in harassing the hell out of her. That was weird as fuck. Yeah, it was over the top. And at one point as I started to distance myself and not really go with their program, I was the enemy, you know? Yeah. And I was used to, which has happened many times, to get modding gigs in the bigger channels. Yeah, it happens a lot. Even in smaller channels, people, will use me as a stepping stone and decide they like another creator better. I'm just like, whatever. I learned my lesson. Yeah. Asen, life is complicated. People are complicated. I hated Goldie's ideologies, and I'm glad she's gone, to be honest. My sister is homophobe and has a bestie at work who's gay. I don't get it. Yeah. Yeah, definitely, excuse her from my channel, but I can't tell other creators what to do. So I did what I felt was right for my channel. It was I think the way it was done, I think had a broader purpose that really had nothing to do with Goldie. Let's put it that way. Yeah, it was I wasn't willing to be anybody's pet project. Liz Gale, the Goldie situation made me very uncomfortable too. It was organized as a campaign and it triggered something for me. I remember, yes. And I remember talking to you because I felt really creepy about it too at one point. And I was like, this has gotten way out of control, They are jealous, in my opinion. Yeah. And I think somebody was jealous of Goldie and wanted her position, honestly, Why else wouldn't they have held every creator responsible and not just some? Very weird. We know who you are. Okay, that sounds a little scary. Rinder's anti-Scientology campaign was PR for himself. He never exposed anything that would incriminate himself. He was rotten to the core. Yeah, you know what? I don't know. I can't disagree with that. I mean, I really And I've told him that, and I've said it probably many, many times, that I feel like I do owe him and Leah and all the people that were on contributors, like Liz Gale, a debt of gratitude, because I didn't understand what had happened to me. Here I am getting emotional again, but it's real, guys. That's why I'm here. So I hated thinking negatively about Mike, because I really idolized him. I really looked up to him. And I think the first of it was, for me, was talking to Doug Kramer, and we used to kind of argue about it. And this was before even the Goldie thing, before the thing with the after, we call it the after flap or whatever, happened with the Aftermath Foundation and all that, blah, blah, blah. I he would tell me, he's like, Mike Ritter's a criminal, he belongs in jail. And I was like, oh no, that can't be true. That can't be true. And then I started to connect the dots. And then I saw his halo, his crown started to slip. And the things he said to me, even in the emails, were like, this doesn't seem like Mike Rinder. I can't believe this, So yeah, I can't ignore it. I can't ignore it. Right? Like maps. I know. Never in my life did I think I would need to learn terms like this. Yeah. Is Stephanie H still involved with these? I don't know, because I don't go on Reddit. She might be in Reddit. She might be in Discord. I think her handle was like concerned citizen, something like that. Sounds like her. Sounds very I want to see a manager type. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's important. It's very gross, but also something to look out for, because this maps thing, yeah, minor attracted persons, like, as if it's okay. It's soft shoeing and creating a euphemism for what it really is yeah, PDF files. George Massey, the ATAC interview and the general reaction to Miriam blew the lid off of Rinder's whistleblower hero image. Yeah, I think so too. Yeah. Oh, George started this. Thank you. Thank you, Anna. You're a sweetheart. Same to you. CO Bill, in their defense, I think most free zoners would think these Reddit trolls are gross too. Yeah, they probably would. I think that the ones that are, I don't know if they're free zoners or not, but I think some of the Michael J. Rinder Aftermath Foundation board members would do well to at least distance themselves or say they've never said a word, and whatever. I mean, that's their choice. That's their choice. But in some cases, silence is consent. And yeah, they're not only not distancing themselves, but they're popping up their comments and giving them kudos and all that. So I'm not saying that they're free zoners. I'm just saying that they're definitely in that category of not, I've never heard one of them come out in defense of like Serge Del Mar or any of the others, like Miriam or any of them. Or they don't even talk about, they talk about, the good old days and the old sun, and and Dave Miscavige, how terrible he is, and the Scientology abuses, Scientology abuses, Scientology abuses. Let's get more specific. What about what happened to Jenna as a kid? The work camps. What about what happened to all of these SA victims and the cover-ups? A lot of them knew. They did. And some of them were the ones that were ethics officers for some of these children of Scientology that were being disciplined for nothing, for being kids. For being kids. It's in the files. So, and Rosemary Brown ended up having horrific things done to her. Nobody's ever spoken up about that except for her son. And Yeah, Leah and Mike, but they were very measured about it. And when Mike and Rosemary wanted to pursue the legal what do you call it? I don't know. They wanted to take it further with litigation against Scientology and doing they can't litigate, but it was like a what's that called, George? civil cases to get more damages because of all the things that had happened to Rosemary, and Mike put a stop to it. And actually, this I'm not telling tales out of school because Mike Brown talked about it in one of his videos, and Mike Rinder wrote about it to me, which I felt weird because it was before Mike had talked about it publicly. I felt weird because I was like, why is Mike Rinder telling me, who pretty much is a stranger, about personal things between a lawyer and a client that's not him? Very weird, very weird. So that showed me that he was indeed being very gatekeepy about these cases. Why? I think I know. I think I know why. Jana, you're right. There's a reason for everything. He messed with the wrong creator. Yeah. I mean, Dave Litton, he did make a mistake. He did slip up there. Yeah. Yeah. There are relatively benign parts of the free zone and relatively creepy parts. Yeah. Well, nothing's all bad, I don't think. Pascal, there are hardcore believers in the free zone space, though I know that for sure. They might be mad as some of us for fighting against the tech. Wild. Yeah. Just scrolling. We know who you are. Question: do you think the trolls are OSA? I don't know. I mean, I don't feel qualified, I guess, as far as like what I've learned about what OSA does. I mean, I think they're doing tactics that are very reminiscent of OSA tactics, fair game type stuff. Going to people's calling people's workplaces and ex-husbands and children and all of that, asking them what kind of childhood you had, just to get anything to use against them. And it's I don't think it's any secret, because I've heard people say it over and over, that some of these trolls went to Reese's ex-husband, and he sang like a canary. I don't know if what he said was true, but he did talk. Jamie Thomas talked to him at length, at least once, probably many times. Yeah. Asen, the term "enemy of your enemy is my friend" is so wrong. Those enemies who work with you be quick to backstab you once all is over. Yeah, I mean, I've had that happen. So yeah, you just got to do your own thing, be careful, and just choose, who you have in your circle of, I guess, trust, like Kelly Copter, who is using the maps thing. Disgusting. They even have a flag. They do. This is more in practice. I haven't heard any of them say we're for maps, but their ideology in other areas, to me, point to it. They have come out in defense of Dave Litton, Echoplex Media, and yeah, instead of saying PDF file sympathizers, I think I'd rather say maps. So to me, it's the same thing, and it does fit with their patterns of behavior that they've shown, and their extreme ideologies. I guess that's what I'll say. Yeah. because it's June. Mike saying that he was in the hole for 5 years. He knew nothing was proven wrong. Jenna proved with paperwork that Mike was at least pulled out of there to handle her. Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And wasn't he like working while he was in that trailer? Yeah, I think he was definitely aware of some things. Yeah. I agree wholeheartedly with this. C.O. Bilf, you are a scholar and a gentleman if I've ever met one. Yeah, I am solidly in the cult of C.O. Bilf. I love me some C.O. Bilf. I just saw that. Well, I'm way back. The fake accent part. That was funny. Hey, Miss Scorpio Rising. Good to see you, friend. Okay. Did I catch up? I think I did. Wow. Okay. We're almost at an hour and a half. That was a lot. I won't be on tomorrow morning. I have a doctor's appointment. I don't know. I have a couple of night streams planned, but I don't know exactly when. I've got 2 interviews coming up. I do want to do just a really just fun, relaxing crochet and talk about stuff. But it didn't work out today. So yeah. Oh, they don't have a flag. Okay. All right. Good. Yeah. I mean, I hope they don't. I hope they don't get one. And I hope they don't weasel their way into the LGBTQ plus community. Yeah, I think that's gross. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm sure MAPS is an acronym for something else too. Yeah, I've heard that. Yeah. Mm. Okay, guys. I'm going to end it here. If anybody wants to chat, you can email me at Coffee Cults and Crafts. And have a good day, and I'll talk to you all soon. Bye.